What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. It's Wednesday, so today I'm going to do my championship transfer show. This is the third edition for the January transfer window this year. We're talking about a load of deals that have gone on, and that is exactly what I'm going to do in the first part of the video. In the second part of the video, we're going to go through some rumours as well. If you guys like what you see, please make sure you do give this video a like, tremendously appreciated. If you haven't done, please subscribe to the channel. It would really matter with David. We're on 375 subscribers last time I checked. If we can push to 400 as soon as we can, that'd be fantastic. And to do that, please share my channel to as many people as you like. That's how I'm going to grow. But without any further ado, let's go through the transfers that have taken place since my last transfer show. So we'll start off with Rhys Davies. He's now joined Stoke City. Obviously, he was at loan at Luton Town from Sheffield United. Sheffield United recalled him, but they've sent him back on loan, but this time at Stoke City. And he was involved in that thrilling 3-3 draw between Rotherham and Stoke yesterday. It was a mad game to watch. Just the goals kept flying in. It was both teams not really being very good at the back, but it was both teams really determined to win. I thought Davies was actually quite good in that game, actually, despite conceding 3 goals. Another transfer that's taken place from Huddersfield is Sorba Thomas going from Boreham Wood to Huddersfield. He was featured in that Boreham Wood squad that lost out to Millwall in the FA Cup. Looks a little bit lively. I'm a little bit excited about this signing. Whether he'll feature a lot, we're going to have to wait and see what kind of identity he has under Collar's core brand system. Another signing that Stoke have is Jack Clarke. He has joined from Spurs on loan. He's had other experiences with championship clubs such as Queen's Park Rangers. I think he could be another good option for Stoke as well. He's still relatively young and has got a lot to give. But whether he'll be starting frequently, it's just going to depend where he can fit under the system, you know, because there's been a lot of defenders that have been pretty good for Stoke this season. So Clarke has got a lot of competition, but I'm sure he's good enough that he can try and get himself a start. One of the biggest transfers before the weekend was Preston North End getting Ben Wyman. I called it in my transfer rumours last time that Ben Wyman was linked to Preston. Preston managed to seal the deal with a £1.5 million deal. Good signing, and to be honest, I thought he was Preston's best player when they lost out to Bristol City last weekend. Simon Godos, who's been a fantastic player that Brentford have managed to get from Amiens on loan this season, has now confirmed that he's going to be staying at Brentford. He signed a permanent contract. A fantastic bit of business by Brentford Football Club there. He has not started all too many games. He's been chopping and changing a little bit, but when he's been featured, he's been fantastic for Brentford, and I can see that he has really enjoyed playing his football there, and I'm so happy for Brentford that they managed to tie him down. Andre Green is back in the Championship. He was without a Championship club, but he's now joined Sheffield Wednesday. I think that's a really good signing. When I saw him at Charlton last year, he did offer a load of good qualities and did try really hard to keep Charlton up. Unfortunately, he couldn't do quite enough. But in that midfielder position, I think he can definitely fit under there. He's got a lot of quality. I don't know about his match fitness for the fact he's been with our club for nearly a year now. But if he can pick up his fitness again, Andre Green can definitely hit the ground running. Queen's Park Rangers managed to secure a loan deal for Jordon David, who is a defender from Hull City. Hull City doing very well in the Championship, first place right now. Definitely wanting an immediate return to the Championship. And he was in Hull's starting 11 in a defensive position when Hull were last in the Championship. So he has got Championship experience. Whether it will dramatically improve that back line from QPR, I'm not too sure. They do currently sit 20th place in the Championship, so they're not entirely safe. And I don't know if Jordon David is the best in that position, but he does improve their squad depth. Jabir Brentwood, which was another player who was in my rumours section last video, has joined Blackburn Rovers. He is a defender, and I think he can offer some experience. Likewise with Davies, I don't think he automatically improves their defence. I don't think he's that sort of impactful player. But he does have experience, and he does improve their depth. So good signing on Blackburn's part, but whether he'll start many games, it's going to be another question. A bit of a bizarre signing for me. Ben Hamer has actually left Huddersfield to join Swansea. Like, I am completely surprised. He must be joining Swansea as a backup goalkeeper, because if you've seen Freddie Woodman's stats this season, he's been absolutely unbelievable. The most clean sheets in the Championship, the less goals conceded in the Championship. He has just been absolutely brilliant. He'll definitely be in contention of being the best goalkeeper in the Championship so far this season. And I think Ben Hamer is just going to be a backup option that Swansea can rely on in case Wyman gets injured, because he has been injury prone a little bit, Freddie Wyman, actually. So maybe it could be a good signing, especially for the abundance of championship experience he's had with Huddersfield. He can throw a clanger here and there, but I guess that's the only downside to his game. One of the last shining lights of Wigan Athletic has finally left. Cal Naismith has joined Luton on a free transfer. It's such a shame for what's happening with Wigan right now, but Naismith was one of the last couple of bright sparks in that Wigan Athletic squad, and he can definitely improve their attacking options. So I'm really excited to see what Naismith can do with this Luton Town side. Orcas, who has played in Swansea this season but has not featured too much, has been recalled by Brighton, but now Coventry have managed to get him on a loan deal. He can definitely get more games at Coventry, in my opinion. I think against the likes of Tyler Walker and Matt Godden, there's not too much competition there. Orcas can definitely fill in now and again. I think with Swansea, with the attacking options that they had, it was going to be difficult for him to get some game times. Max Waters has managed to secure a Cardiff move. I did actually include that in my video, but I actually had to edit it out because my transfer show was going to be too long. He's joined from Crowley Town, and I think he can be a pretty good signing as a centre forward, and he's got a lot to give. He's 21 years of age, so could be a good signing for Cardiff. Jack Wilshere has returned to Bournemouth. Jack Wilshere is in the Championship. Honestly, one of the best signings in the whole window right now. The fact that Bournemouth have managed to get him is absolutely brilliant. And Bournemouth, more than anything, needs some energy, some new fresh legs, and just a little bit of revamp, because they're in a poor run of form right now. Obviously, they lost in midweek against a Derby side who've only won one home game all season. But as long as Jack Wilshere is not injured, I can definitely think he can bring a new source of life into that Bournemouth squad, and could just be what they need to secure some promotion to the Premier League. They have fallen off a little bit, so they definitely need to react as soon as they can. One outgoing I was a bit surprised by was Dan Crowley from Birmingham. He has left to join Hull City. And I think Crowley is a player who I actually wanted to see a little bit more of. Ita Karanka, unfortunately, had lost favour in him, and that's why he's gone a league down to join Hull City, which I do think he'll get some game time there. A little bit of a shame in my opinion. I want to see a little bit more of Dan Crowley, but I definitely think he could definitely thrive off League One, and he could definitely get some minutes with Hull. Perry NG, which was another player in my rumours section last video, has joined from Crewe to Cardiff, and he has been a huge part of Crewe Alexandra getting promoted from League 2 to League 1 actually. So he can be a fantastic right back. He's got a load of competition in that position, and I do think he can definitely thrive out of it as well. From what I've seen him with League 1, I think he's a great signing. Dimitronis Gaionis has joined from PAOK to Norwich. Definitely a left backs, and Norwich are very strong with their fullbacks right now. But I think what Farke's doing really well with is that despite the injuries, he's making sure he's got a load of options in every position. He can definitely offer a load of quality. I've seen him a little bit with PAOK as well, especially when Chelsea have played against PAOK as well. I've seen a little bit of him there. He's definitely got something about him and can definitely fit into that Norwich side. Two more transfers that have happened really recently. Kenneth Zaha has now extended his loan stay at Millwall, which is fantastic news. Unfortunately, he's not been playing a lot for Millwall, so I think it's quite a bold decision by his part that he wants to stay at Millwall. But I do think, especially for how good he was in the FA Cup, I think Zaha needs to start a couple more games. And what is there anything to lose with Millwall right now? They're not in a great position in the table. They need to be risky. They need to try things. And I think they need to give Zaha a little bit of game time. And Preston North End have let go of their midfielder Josh Harrop to join Ipswich Town. Once again, a bit similar to the Danny Crowley situation. I wanted to see Josh Harrop more for Preston. I think he can offer so much. And I remember one of his goals last year against Blackburn, I think, and it was an absolute screamer. And I just really wanted to see that side out of him, but unfortunately, it seems that Alex Neil doesn't quite back him to be a starting player. I mean, I know Daniel Johnson's been fantastic, but at least try and fit him in with him or put him in a different position. Josh Harrop, for me, is good enough to even start with Daniel Johnson, or even at times start over him, actually. But he has joined Ipswich, and I think it is a loan and option to buy option as well. So Preston could potentially be losing a great player on their hands, but Ipswich need to thrive off this guy. Ipswich have been falling short of the League One recently. Josh Harrop could just be the formula they need to try and pick themselves up. So those are all the confirmed transfers that have happened since my last transfer show. If I've missed anyone, let me know in the comments down below. But without any further ado, let's go through some rumours, and we've got a couple to talk about. So the first rumour is linked with Queen's Park Rangers. They're looking to try and loan Stefan Johansen from Fulham. Now, he was fantastic for Fulham in the Championship last season. 33 times he featured for Fulham when they got promoted to the Premier League last year. And his contract isn't out for Fulham actually till 2022. But Queen's Park Rangers could be getting him out for loan and potentially trying to get a loan to buy option. He's just not been starting over Anguissa, Tom Kearney and Josh Oneill. So I definitely think Johansen can get some minutes with Queen's Park Rangers. And Queen's Park Rangers definitely need some quality in that position. Could he potentially fill the void of Eberechi Eze? I'm not too sure if he can. He's 30 years old, so I don't think he's got a load of years left. But he can offer some experience and he's fantastic for Fulham's promotion season. So maybe he can definitely make a short trip to West London and help a fellow West London side, Queen's Park Rangers, in terms of surviving in the Championship. One transfer rumour which I think will be confirmed maybe later today or within the next couple of days is Conor Hourihane joining Swansea City. Now, I tell you what, I want to actually ask you guys this question. What would be a better signing? Bournemouth getting Jack Wilshere or Swansea getting Conor Hourihane? For me, I would actually back Hourihane over Jack Wilshere. Now, I know both of them are not the youngest of players anymore. Conor Hourihane, I think, is 29 years old. But I tell you what, Hourihane is so unfortunate not to be starting. I think since getting Ross Barkley, I think Hourihane has been falling out of favour with Aston Villa. And even with Barkley getting injured, he's had to compete with the likes of Bertrand Traore and stuff like that. But Hourihane can offer a lot, especially in the cup competitions. I've seen him a lot in there and he's been absolutely terrific. His set pieces are fantastic and I think it's what Swansea needs. And following that they've lost Casey Palmer since Bristol City recalled him, maybe he can fill his void. And Casey Palmer was an instrumental part for Swansea's success so far this season. So potentially a very exciting transfer on Swansea's hands. It will be such a huge coup if they can get Conor Hourihane. Josh King is another rumour. Now it looks like Burnley are now trying to edge themselves as favourites to get the Bournemouth striker. Now, I think his value has gone up a little bit following for how good he was in the FA Cup, but in the Championship, he's just not been good. Like, I remember him against Luton, and he had a fantastic opportunity where he was in a load of space, but he just looks the shadow of the player he was that I was expecting to see from him in the Championship. And I think Burnley are definitely a club that definitely need their striker options right now. They've not been scoring many goals this season, which is why they're in the position that they are in the Premier League. Other clubs like West Ham, Aston Villa, Newcastle, West Brom and Everton have all been interested in Josh King at different times this season. So I definitely think he will be leaving in around either January or maybe next summer where his contract does expire. A player who has been linked with a move away is Josh Murphy, who's been playing barely any football with Cardiff. He's actually not played a game since November, which is quite shocking following the player of his quality. Forest, Derby, Sheffield Wednesday are all interested of signing Josh Murphy as well. And for me, I highly rate the guy. I definitely do. As a winger, I think he's one of the most creative ones around in the Championship, and anyone could really take him in the squad. And just unfortunately, he's just not been able to get many starts under Neil Harris this season, and I do wonder why, considering for their poor run of form right now. I think Josh Murphy can be a big part of their turnaround in form, but for whatever reason, he's just not starting many games. And I think definitely a move away to another Championship outfit can be the best option for him. A very interesting rumour I found today was Bayern Munich's involvement. That's right, Bayern Munich linked with Omar Richards of the Championship with Reading. Now, he as a fullback has definitely been one of the best fullbacks I've seen so far this season. With his contribution, his defensive work rate, just everything about him, his blocking, just his intelligence and his passing has been fantastic this season. It's been very eye-catching and he's been a big part of why Reading have had such a fantastic season so far, which was followed by a fantastic performance against Coventry yesterday. 3-0 it finished, and honestly it could have been by more. It didn't help Coventry for the fact that Carl McFadden did get sent off in the 72nd minute. And one thing I have heard recently is for the fact that Reading wants around 15 million, but following EFL restrictions and the rules and substantiality and financial fair play, they may not be able to have the deal they want with Omar Richards, and it's going to be very difficult for them to keep him. Whether Bayern Munich are going to keep going with that, he could definitely offer competition for the likes of Alphonso Davies. But other clubs have been interested. West Ham and Newcastle have also been interested as well. Ravel Morrison is a name we hear in almost every transfer show, especially in January as well. Now, unfortunately, he is currently without a club after just leaving ADO Den Haag in the Eredivisie right now. And there has been links with Nottingham Forest, Derby and Huddersfield. But right now, I definitely say with Forest and Derby, their rumours have kind of been cleared off a little bit. Huddersfield I'm not too sure about, but it's a real shame that a load of clubs, despite having those links with Ravel Morrison, are not as strong and as not as favourable as they once were. And I think Morrison, unfortunately, I mean, he's just built this reputation. He's just going to be passed around by many clubs because he just does not have it with him. And whether it's an attitude thing, I don't know. But unfortunately, I just don't see any of the three clubs signing him. Of course, with our club, he could potentially be linked maybe with one of the lower league clubs or maybe a League One club. Going back to Reading now with Michael Olise, definitely one of the best players in his position all season in that central midfielder role. And he has been linked with Arsenal, Liverpool and Leeds. Definitely the bigger clubs being very interested in this guy. He has made 25 appearances this season and has been absolutely instrumental with goals and defence splitting passes, and his role overall has just been absolutely incredible. However, what could prevent him from moving away? He did have an injury against Coventry yesterday. Whether Olise does move or not, I think he definitely deserves it. He's got everything and more for what I need to see to be a stable Premier League player. I'm really excited to see the development of this young talent. He really has a lot to give, so I'm really excited to see what he can offer. And then finally, we end the transfer show with a rumour of Furad Batura. Now, he was one of the transfers I wasn't too sure about, and he just wasn't featured. He only had one appearance for Nottingham Forest, which was a 1-0 Carabao Cup defeat against Barnsley. Now, in that game, I dare say he looked quite promising, but for some odd reason, Chris Hughton just does not fancy him. There's just too many players too good in his position. He can't compete in that central defensive midfielder position, so it looks like he may be going out on loan. This one I do realistically see. I think Chris Hughton does have the intention. He does want to cut the squad a little bit, and unfortunately with Batura, he's just not proving to be enough, despite being signed from a pretty good side like Malmo in the start of the season. But it was just one of those signings which I didn't think was necessary, so I think a loan move away will definitely be the best thing for both parties. But that wraps it up with all of the transfer rumours and the transfer show. If you guys liked what you see, please make sure you do give this video a like. It's tremendously appreciated. If you haven't done, please subscribe to the channel. It would really make my day. Let's push for 400 subscribers as soon as we can. And to do that, please share my channel to as many people as you like. All of that would really make my day. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary if you saw the end of this video. And as always, take care, guys.